Hello and welcome or welcome back. My name is Justina. Welcome to my channel. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back and thank you for joining me today. Here on the 10th of April, Mars will conjoin with Saturn here. Saturn is now in Pisces, so we will begin a new cycle between Mars and Saturn, and these cycles last roughly 2 years. So this time around, this will be a Mars and Saturn conjunction in Pisces at 14 degrees. Now, this conjunction can bring an increased pressure, challenges, or even limitations. Mars, as I mentioned earlier, is connected to action, drive, and energy, while Saturn is connected to structure, discipline, boundaries, responsibility, limitations. And when these two planets meet together, this can create a feeling of tension, the conflict between our desire to take action and practical limitations or responsibilities we are facing. Now, here with Saturn and Mars conjunction, for some, this could play out in a way that you might feel like you're not able to fulfill your goals, purpose, or objectives because something or someone is holding you back. You might feel discouraged or demotivated even as your energy levels might be low. Now, on a positive note, on the other hand, this energy is fantastic for practicing patience, discipline, perseverance. It can be an amazing time for focusing on long-term goals and for putting in the hard work and effort required to reach those long-term goals and objectives. Perhaps this is a time to step back and look at your priorities, at what truly matters at this point in your life. On the one hand, yes, this could be a challenging transit, but on the other hand, there's this amazing opportunity for growth and self-improvement. All right, so here we go. Now, let's see what this transit means for each rising sign. Of course, you can also watch it for your moon sign or your sun sign if you wish. So here we go. I'll share my screen with you now. All right, so hello, Aries. So when Mars meets with Saturn, this activity will be already felt, I think, in the initial days of April, I would think already, because Mars is in the same sign as Saturn, approaching Saturn. So you could already feel that in the initial days of April. And can be a time of some tension, but at the same time, it might be, especially depends on your circumstances, on what you will be doing around this time. But if you feel like you're hitting a wall or experiencing some obstacles at every turn that you take, then perhaps Saturn is trying to tell you, metaphorically speaking, that you need to implement some more structure, responsibility into the goal that you're working on, into the challenge you are dealing with. At the same time, if you feel like you are being held back from achieving your goals, from expressing yourself fully, then perhaps you're thinking about changing your strategy. Perhaps you're thinking about doing things differently. During this time, you might have to implement more work into reaching your goals or objectives. Perhaps this is about implementing more effort as well in order to achieve your desired goals. Perhaps this is a time to step back or perhaps take a little break in order to see things from a different perspective, different light. Perhaps you will be reassessing your priorities, your strategies for achieving your goals, for succeeding, moving forward. And in a way, this is also connected to closing a certain chapter in your life as you begin to enter a brand new cycle with Mars moving into your first house on the 30th of April. And also, you might have to find a healthy balance between your desire to take action, to move forward with a specific goal, idea, relationship, whatever it is, and also the responsibilities that you are facing at this time. All right, so let's have a look at the next sign now, and that's Taurus. Now, when Mars meets with Saturn on the 10th of April, this can indicate a time of heightened attention upon your friendships, social networks, long-term goals as well. And with Mars and Saturn conjunction, this could indicate perhaps some challenges or obstacles in group activities. But here with determination, with effort, you can more certainly overcome these challenges, especially since Mars will sextile your ascendant. So there is this nice and harmonious energy with your ascendant, even though Mars and Saturn could bring up some challenges and some situations you have to face and deal with. Now, at the same time, it's here with Mars and Saturn, it's really important to be disciplined and to generally avoid conflicts or power struggles with friends, colleagues during this time. And perhaps this is also when you are generally learning to resolve certain issues, dilemmas in a more harmonious way, seeking compromise. So if you feel frustration when it comes to that inability to reach your goals as quickly as you would have hoped, for example, then try to use this energy into some constructive collaborations, teamwork, especially when it comes to achieving common objectives during this time. Now let's move into Geminis. Now, on the 10th, Mars and Saturn will meet at 14 degrees of Pisces, and this can indicate a time of hard work, determination, perseverance, and especially when it comes to achieving your goals, objectives. Perhaps you'll be dealing with some important deadlines. This is a time to really, really concentrate on what you're doing. And perhaps this is a time when you have to really purely dedicate your energy towards your work around the 10th of April to make sure that you can reach your objectives, your goals. And overall, this is a time when you will have to concentrate on dedication, because you can really, really succeed as long as you put enough effort, as long as you put enough energy and, good planning and self-discipline. This sort of energies will have to be implemented, while also staying away from any impulsiveness, aggression when it comes to reaching your goals, reaching your objectives at this time. Okay, so let's now look at Cancer. Let's look at Cancers. For you, this is your ninth house. And now on the 10th, Mars and Saturn will conjoin in Pisces at 14 degrees in your ninth house. And this can generally indicate a time when you might be really working very hard on a project. It could be a work project, it could be a business plan, it could be anything to do with travel, spirituality, higher education, whatever it is here. This is a time when you can really, really grow and move forward in these areas of life. But at the same time, you will have to be equipped with patience, perseverance, and generally take any obstacles and challenges that come along or emerge as a lesson, as a valuable lesson, rather than just an obstacle. Now, with that ninth house energy, you might feel also driven and motivated to work on any visa, passport applications, passport renewal, for example, any legal documents. Leo. For Leos, this is the eighth house activation, transformation and regeneration here is highlighted. Now, this could generally indicate a time when you may need to confront some issues related to power dynamics, control, trust in your intimate relationship, or some deep connections, partnerships. Or perhaps this could be also about implementing the necessary changes into the financial area of your life. Loans, debt, mortgage, or shared joint resources. So overall, during this time, it could be about working together to find solutions that will benefit and involve everyone involved. So it doesn't have to be you working on your own or dealing with a certain financial situation or something of a deep emotional, psychological matter. You don't have to resolve this on your own. You don't have to be alone with this problem. This could be about you and someone else resolving this dilemma, this issue, this matter, and finding a solution to this obstacle, for example. Now, this transit can also bring urgency and drive to achieve some financial goals. Or perhaps this is about making some important investments, especially since we are going to start a new series of eclipses this year on Pisces and Virgo axis. So this January Mars in Pisces transit and Mars and Saturn conjunction could be connected to some major investments that you are thinking to make in the near future. Now, avoid impulsive or risky actions, especially the ones that could lead to loss or some complications down the line. Okay, so now let's see what's happening in Virgo's chart. Virgo's, this is happening in your seventh house. So yes, relationships, probably some major decisions, one-to-one relationships, unions are highlighted around this time as well. And this generally indicates a period of intense focus and effort even in your relationship zone, area, sphere, partnerships, collaboration. So overall, this could be a testing time for some or challenges that could emerge. And during this time, you might need to confront some difficult issues and work hard to find common ground, to find compromise. So here it's really important to approach these situations with patience, with honesty, and also with willingness to compromise. And this is because this will help you overall to reach a fair and balanced resolution and a happy ending, a happy resolution, yes. Now, overall, this conjunction can also bring a sense of urgency and drive when it comes to achieving your goals, your desires, your objectives within your relationship, within your partnership. Here again, this shouldn't lead to any impulsive or aggressive behavioral patterns due to a possible impatient attitude towards achieving a certain goal or objective within a partnership, within a relationship. Libras, this is your sixth house. Yeah, so here we go. Here what is highlighted is your health, your lifestyle, your well-being. And this is the beginning of a new lunar cycle, of a new cycle between Mars and Saturn. But this could also bring about a period of hard work, discipline, and potentially some challenges, obstacles to overcome as well. But overall, even though it might be that your responsibilities might increase, and there could be lots of demands at your work, generally in your daily life. Here, it's really important that generally you find a healthy balance between your work life and your personal life, because I think around the 10th of April, I think there could be a lot going on in your daily life. So here, during this time, you will have to remember about the healthy balance between work and self-care. But at the same time, I think that you will have to stay focused on your goals and just work hard because your hard work will pay off. Even though during this time it might feel like your responsibilities increased and your workload as well. But if you just look at this phase as something temporary that will pay off in the long term, then it will be easier for you to generally overcome the energies present. But at the same time, really, really remember about self-care and for implementing a little bit of something, I'm not even saying fun, but something comforting into your day. You will need this. Okay, so now let's have a look at Scorpios. Scorpios, for you, this is actually quite meaningful because this is happening, because this is your co-ruler, your traditional ruler Mars, and this can generally bring a period of intense focus, determination towards a specific goal, objective, anything to do with creativity, art interests, projects, work-related projects, business-related projects, and so on. And this aspect can also indicate a time of taking calculated risks and generally putting the hard work to achieve your goals in the matters related to children, romance, and self-expression. If you've been generally struggling to find love or to find romance in your existing relationship, with Mars and Saturn conjunction here, you might see things from a different light and perhaps take little steps, more calculated risks, and feel more motivated to find love, to find more romance, to perhaps implement a healthier routine for your children, or perhaps to engage in some creative projects that could help you to express your creative urges in some way. Let's have a look at Sagittarius. Sagittarius, for you, this is happening in your fourth house. And overall here, yet again, we've got this domestic and family matters being brought to the surface. And perhaps you'll be making some important decisions connected to your home, to your family. Perhaps this is about taking action and making changes in the home environment. Perhaps there are some issues that need to be addressed, or changes need to be implemented in the home environment during this time. Now, here, if you've experienced a sense of frustration, or perhaps if there's an obstacle that you need to overcome during this time, this is not a time to take risks. This is a time to be patient and overall take a step-by-step approach. Anything rushed and generally not thought through could generally lead to negative consequences. So it's important to approach any challenges during this time with patience, perseverance. Now, here, let's move to the next sign. Thank you very much. And we will now look at Capricorns. Capricorns, for you, this is your third house. The third house deals with short distance travel, communication, learning, studying, our siblings, next of kin. And this can indicate a time of a very, very intense mental focus or communication challenges, perhaps. And at the same time, Mars and Saturn conjunction could bring a sense of urgency and maybe even a need to assert yourself in some conversations, in some debates. So here it's important to be mindful of any potential conflicts or even arguments during this time. And I think it's important to overall throughout this transit to approach communication with patience, with diplomacy, with compromise when needed. At the same time, here, Saturn and Mars conjunction can bring a strong, strong drive to learn, to acquire new knowledge, especially in areas related to technology, to communication, transportation, but also anything to do with working on a blog, or perhaps working on a new business idea, for example. Okay, so now let's look at Aquarius. Aquarius, this is happening in your second house. Yes, so second house, that's your finances, your income. So overall, self-worth, self-esteem. And this can generally mean that you might be dealing with a major financial transaction or situation. And perhaps this is also connected to some material possessions. So this transit, this conjunction could bring a really strong desire to work hard, to make money. But at the same time, it can lead to frustration. It can lead to some obstacles when it comes to achieving these financial goals. So here it's, I think you'll benefit from avoiding taking unnecessary risks, or perhaps making any impulsive decisions with money during this time. Here, as per that Saturnian influence, it's all about perseverance, patience, structure, stability. Now, let's have a look at Pisces. Okay, so hello Pisces and welcome to your horoscope. This can generally be a time of increased discipline, great determination, focus. The first house is, of course, the house of the self, your identity. You might feel really motivated. You might feel a very strong sense of purpose, direction even. Saturn is associated with structure, responsibility, limitations, discipline, while Mars is connected to energy, drive, action. When Mars and Saturn conjoin in your first house, this could indicate tension or a feeling of tension, a conflict, for example, especially when it comes to your personal desires to take action and practical limitations or responsibilities you are facing at this point in your life. So I think during this time, you need to look at the long-term perspective of whatever that you're dealing with rather than the short term, because at this point, it might feel like you have to implement a lot of um, effort and energy into whatever that you want to achieve. But if you don't look at it from a longer perspective, you might feel demotivated because you might not be seeing instant outcomes and results. So I think patience, perseverance, these are some of the lessons that may come up around this time. But at the same time, you might feel a strong sense of purpose. You might feel a very strong sense of responsibility, commitment to your work, personal projects as well. And this could be a good time for taking on new challenges and new responsibilities that require discipline, that require perseverance. So overall, here with Mars and Saturn, this could be a time when you will have to develop a more of a disciplined and patient approach to achieving your goals, achieving your objectives. And by putting the necessary work, you will feel more capable. You will feel much stronger as well. Thank you very much.